Good afternoon to all of our attendees. This is Mike Brown, and this webinar is how to accelerate your real estate business using Facebook. We're going to wait a few minutes or just a couple of minutes until people get on. I see a lot of people joining right now, so I want to give them a few minutes to join us. I'm coming to you from Florida. Let me show you where I am. First of all, our thoughts are with the folks that are in the path of Hurricane Ian. Please stay safe. That little blue dot over on the east coast of Florida, that is me. That's where I am, and mostly out of harm's way. I'm not in the direct path of the storm, but the feeder bands are coming through with tornadoes and winds over 50 miles an hour. So if I lose power, I apologize for the inconvenience. A replay of this webinar will be on YouTube and our website. Let me just go back to the title screen for a minute to let everyone know this is where you are. How to accelerate your real estate business using Facebook. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is what we're going to cover today. I've been on Facebook since 2008. It launched in 2004. I realized, in 2008, after being an early adopter of all these internet technologies, that Facebook was going to be a game changer, and for business especially. And I've been using it ever since. So it's a long time being on Facebook. Today we're going to go over the real estate market, Facebook stats, and why it's important to be on Facebook, what your stats could look like, how to do an integrated cross-platform marketing program, what content marketing is and what that funnel is, and how Facebook is related to that, how to set up a Facebook business page if you haven't done it already, the editorial calendar that you should set up so you can post content on a regular basis, the types of content that you can post, how to post, and all the aspects about posting, and then boosting a post. This is something you're not going to want to miss because that's the secret to getting a lot of traffic and a lot of eyeballs and customers to your content. And then finally, Facebook groups and why they're so important. So let's talk about the real estate market. Now, we all know that the overall market is not where we want it to be. And I'm not going to get into all of that, but all markets are local. So in some markets, you're doing pretty well, and some not so much. In all markets, you have to go out and compete for business. You have to have the tools and the knowledge to get more customers, to get more listings, and to help sell property or find places for people to live. You can use Facebook and other social media platforms, plus My State MLS, the only nationwide multiple listing service, to differentiate yourself and compete to win. Right now, there are over 4,000 active listings on My State MLS, and that means there's a business out there. There is business out there, and you should go out and get it. But to get that business, you have to be in the publishing broadcasting business. A lot of people, when I talk to them in their industries, whether it be technology, healthcare, and different industries that I've worked in, nonprofit, they're surprised when they hear they have to be in the publishing and broadcasting business. But that's what a social media content marketer is. You are a publisher and a broadcaster. You have to act like a publisher and a broadcaster. Content attracts viewers, and it attracts customers if you do it right. And Facebook is a big part of that, and I'll show you how today. You're going to hear me say a lot today, more stories and less marketing. We love stories. Folks trust stories more than other social content formats. And they say they feel closer to family and friends from watching stories. People just don't trust ads. And so I would encourage you to think about doing stories and posts more than ads. And we'll talk about how often to do that. and what types of content to put in. Many are thinking that Facebook is out of fashion, going out of business. Well, that's premature. It's slowed down a bit, but in 2022, there's been a 6.2% jump from 2021's 2.74 billion users, which was already a year-over-year growth of 12% from 2019. You know, many are calling Facebook old book. Is it old book? Well, Facebook is the favorite social platform of the 35 to 44-year-old demographic. So I guess it makes it old book. You know, under 25, Instagram's the top platform. But let's take a breakdown of users. 72% of Facebook users don't trust it to protect their privacy, but they use it anyway. Think about that. 72% of Facebook users also don't trust Facebook, but they're using it anyway, and they're giving away their private information and all of that. So I would encourage you to check your privacy settings and make sure they're set the way you want to set them. 69% of Americans use Facebook, and 1.8 billion people use Facebook groups every month. And I'm going to explain why that's important for you in the real estate business. Facebook ads, which boosting a post is also considered an ad, reach 63.7% of all Americans over the age of 13. Facebook ads in the US are expected to surge 15.5% year over year in 2022. Facebook Marketplace has 1 billion monthly active users. There's some things to be cautious about with Facebook Marketplace, and I'll explain that. Facebook beats out TikTok for short form video with 60.8% of user share. Now, TikTok's coming on strong. It is the fastest growing platform in the market. There are a lot of real estate folks that are using TikTok. We just launched ours and are experimenting with it. We test a lot. I've always tested a lot. Everything I've done, I always go out and test a lot of different things to try and see what works and what doesn't. And then I study the market as well, and other people that are, you know, the top people in social media and in technology to see what is working and what isn't. So right now, TikTok is coming on strong, and we're going to have to keep an eye on that. So your stats could look like this. Right now, My State MLS, our page, has 9,707 likes as of a couple days ago, and over 10,000 followers, up from about 1,000 followers when we started our content marketing program in December of last year. So we've grown 8,000 likes and almost or over 9,000 followers in less than a year. You can do that with a content marketing program, and I'm going to show you that program here today. In the last 28 days, we've reached over 168,000 folks. You see that on the insights on the right side of the screen. We've had 21,000 engagements with our content on our page, and we've increased our page likes by 283. We want to get over 10,000 page likes because Facebook then starts showing our content to more folks. So we're on a mission to do that. And you know, the most important stat here is post engagements. You want folks to engage with your content. That's the most important thing. The more they engage with your content, the better chance you have of them becoming a customer and you making a sale. So here's a summary of the last 90 days for My State MLS, including our boosting and advertising spend. We've been averaging around $25 a day in our spending. Not a lot of money. There's a lot of folks that go out there and spend thousands of dollars. They spend, you know, hundreds of dollars a day or $1,000, you know, in a couple of days. It's not necessary. You can do well at $5 a day. you can do well at $10 a day. It's all based on how much money you're willing to invest to reach the audience you want to reach. If you look at our interaction in 90 days, we've had 85,000, almost 86,000 people engage with our content. We've had 82,000 people watch our videos, and we've had almost 3,000 people click a link to our website from our posts. That's really important because your content needs to reside on your website. So you can get people to interact with what will sell them, which is on your website. So looking at Google Analytics for MyStateMLS.com, since the first of the year, you can see that out of all the social media platforms, Facebook is clear. It's the slam dunk winner with 451,000 sessions that have come from Facebook out of the 1,100,000 sessions we've had on our website this year so far. That's not page views. Those are sessions, people that have come to our site and gone to 2, 3, 6, 8, 10 pages on our website per session. So we get over a million page views on our website every month. So this data gives us a good idea of what's working and what isn't. We're at Facebook at 451,000 sessions, and LinkedIn is second with 764. You can see the difference. By the way, I would encourage everyone to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is Facebook for people with money. Consumers are on LinkedIn. It is not just a job site. It is a site that has groups, just like Facebook, and it gets rid of a lot of the clutter that you end up with on Facebook. So let's go on and talk about what an integrated cross-platform marketing strategy is. A single bullet strategy doesn't work. To win in social media, you must have an integrated cross-platform marketing program. If you remember Barney Fife from the Andy and Mayberry show, Sheriff Andy gave Barney one bullet that he kept in his top pocket. If they were anywhere but Mayberry, a single bullet wouldn't work for conquering crime and keeping people safe. It's the same with marketing. So what's your strategy? Are you going to be a broad real estate publisher and broadcaster with news and helpful information? Or are you going to focus on your local market? Most markets are based on local information. All news is local. And so I would encourage you to focus mostly on your local market rather than taking on the broad industry of real estate. We do that because we have a nationwide multiple listing service, and so we cover the entire country. But I would suggest that your best strategy is to focus on your local markets, where you're in. If you want to expand your territory, My State MLS is a perfect way to do that. And you need to remember that news sells. Advertising doesn't sell very well anymore. Most people just don't believe it. They won't click on it. But news sells. Customer success stories sell. Listings sell. Listings do surprisingly well. And so I would encourage you to, when you're coming up with your marketing strategy, and we'll talk a little bit more about content in a minute, I'd encourage you to really think about doing news and customer success stories and listings as your top three parts of your strategy. Now, the digital marketing mix should include your website, because all posts should have a link back to your website. Your Facebook business page, along with your personal page on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Twitter used to be great. It's got so many problems now and so much controversy that I'm not sure I'd spend any time on Twitter at this point. but your all-important email list, whether you use Constant Contact or MailChimp or some other method to reach out to your customers. I would encourage you to, to use your email system to send your content out to your customers and anyone else that will give you their email address. Now, with all of these different platforms, you become an air traffic controller of content. But a strong cross-platform campaign strategy will ensure that you deliver the right message on each platform. For now, Facebook is the leader in reaching your customers. And by the way, all the account names for all of these different platforms should match your website company name. A lot of folks, I'm surprised, don't do that. They have all these different names. Of course, some names have been already taken by others, but try and come up with a name for your website and all of the other platforms so that you can use one consistent name. It's the best thing for your branding. Okay, a content marketing funnel. The way this system works is at first, customers, your audience, viewers are in discovery mode. They're looking at content, they're surfing around different social platforms, watching videos, just looking for different content. Some people are very specific in what they're looking for, but most people are just looking at their feed and then clicking on things on the side if they interest them. So they're in discovery mode, and that's where a lot of your content will be found as they are looking there. But making all this content sounds like a lot of work, doesn't it? Well, it is. Everyone thinks social media is free. It is not. Your time is worth money, and making awesome content takes time. But it absolutely works if you're a good content producer. It will differentiate you from your competition. A word about the production values of your content. It doesn't have to be professionally produced, but it can't forget the basics. Spelling and grammar still count. Simple video shot and edited without the shaking and spraying and with clear audio is important. By the way, the term spraying is a video term that means you're using your video recorder like a garden hose, waving your phone around as you're recording things. Don't do that. Most of your content can be produced on your phone. Smartphone, like the iPhone that I have, has a better resolution than the cameras I used with Discovery Channel 20 years ago. So believe me, your phone is fully capable of creating great content, photos and video. Discovery is about finding your audience. Multiple content types across your platforms, optimized for each one, will give you the best results. And once an audience has found you, they will consider your content. So they go into the green part of the funnel for consideration. Make sure you have a link back to your website. Your goal here is engagement at first. Different audience will like different content, and most is driven by the topic and the audience interests. The more interest, the longer they will want the content to be. There isn't a magic formula for length of content, whether it be minutes in video or words in an article. I prefer to produce long content and break it up for the short content. That covers all audience interests. And then you can post all of those on your website and across social media as you see fit. And don't just push out content. It's called social media for a reason. Be social. You must interact with each audience member by commenting, liking, engaging, sharing, and networking with them. If they leave a comment on your content, reply back. Don't just like it, reply back. Ask them questions. Engage with them. That's why it's called social media, because we're all supposed to be socially interactive on this on these platforms. Okay, conversion is the reason we're all doing this. We're trying to get people to purchase stuff, um, and and it's not just likes and follows. We're trying to get people to um, eventually buy something. It's about making a sale and creating brand advocates. When you capture them, turn them into a brand advocate. So I may get into this a little bit later, but I want to emphasize this here. Out of the 5 pieces of content that you create, 4 pieces of content should be helpful content, and 1 piece of content can be selling content or marketing material. That formula has seemed to work for me, and I think a lot of other leaders in the social media space. 4 pieces of helpful content, content that helps people learn something, do something, find something. That's you put out those 4 pieces of content, and then you can ask for a sale after that, and then get back to the 4 plus 1 content in your funnel. Okay, if you don't have a Facebook business page, you really need to have one. Okay, your content lives on your Facebook page and on your website. It should start on your website and then be put on your Facebook page. Again, we love stories. Folks trust stories. And so I would encourage you to do stories on your website and on your Facebook page, and we'll get into the types of content and stories in a minute. What you need to create a Facebook business page, you first have to have a personal Facebook account and a Facebook profile. Without that, you can't make a Facebook business page. At that point, you can separate the two and have your personal content on your personal page and your business content on the business page. You can select a category. You can actually select up to 3 categories for your page. And then you have to put in your business information, like your contact information, location, and hours. And your all important about should be filled out so folks can learn about who you are and what you want to do and what you want to provide. Next step is create an editorial calendar. Now, I run social media and marketing just like a newsroom. I'm a former reporter, former producer, and so I run things based on an editorial calendar. A calendar makes a lot of changes, not just daily, but hourly, because of breaking things that are happening or, a new, good, better idea comes up. So the editorial calendar isn't set in stone, but it's basically a topic list of content that you will post. I'm encouraging folks to brainstorm. What do your best customers want to know about? Ask them. Talk to 20 of your best customers that you wish you had 20 more just like them, and find out what they want to know about and ask them regularly. That will help you come up with the ideas of the content that you can figure out and post about. Share other people's posts. Okay, I've got an 80-20 rule. When you're first starting out, especially, share 80% of the posts. Other people are out there creating amazing content, of course, credit them, and then create 20% original content from you. That will help you have a lot of content that you can post. Okay, so here's the reminder again about post 4 helpful news-based posts and then post 1 marketing post. Set up a Google News saved searches for these topics. Once you figure out what the topics are that you want to cover, go to Google News, type in the keywords or keyword phrases about those, and see what comes up. Then save them, and you'll be able to look back at those saved searches all the time, and automatically get the very latest that's going on in the market about those topics. And you can use those pieces of content in what you're producing. Meme it. There's a lot of people put funny stuff on social media, and they're very popular. Here we've got Dr. Phil talk about real estate is like dating. The longer you're on the market, the more people wonder what's wrong with you. Um, Meme things. When you see something that looks like it could be funny, make a meme out of it. And you don't have to have fancy software to do this. You can do it in PowerPoint. Just make a PowerPoint slide, save it as a JPEG. You've got an instant meme. Use national stories from your Google News saved searches and make them local to your market. That's a great idea uh, 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 generator to get the content that you need for your local market. National stories, make them local. And journalists do it every day. So good journalists anyway. And then test, test, test. I can't emphasize this enough. Test what you're doing, see what works, see what doesn't work. Take a look at the analytics on Facebook and on your website with Google Analytics, and how your audience does or doesn't react to your content will give you valuable data to improve your content marketing strategy. If something isn't getting likes or click-throughs or comments, don't do that content anymore. Don't do that topic anymore. If you've done 3 to 5 pieces of content about a particular topic and nobody cares, don't just erase that off your editorial calendar. Don't use that topic anymore because it's not working for you. Okay. Either you're not producing the content well or the topic isn't of interest. So that's something you have to revisit on a regular basis. But we use analytics pretty heavily to figure out what is the best thing that the market cares about and our audience cares about. Okay, let's talk about types of content. Here I'm emphasizing again, more stories, less marketing. We love stories. Tell stories, okay? We don't trust ads. And the best kind of stories you can tell is using video. Video is the new, well, not new, but it's the biggest game changer in social media and marketing. Video is absolutely the number one thing everyone wants to watch, everyone wants to see. And you saw from the earlier stats that YouTube's number one, Facebook is number two in showing video. The standard format is your typical horizontal 16:9, which the lady in the photo is doing a 16:9 horizontal format video. YouTube Shorts, however, and Facebook Reels, those are vertical formats. They're 9:16. The YouTube Shorts can be 15 seconds to 60 seconds. I give the file types here if you need to know that. And Facebook Reels can be up to 30 seconds. And this I know it's hard to keep up with all of the data that I'm giving here, but this will be on a PDF and also on a webinar replay, so you can come back and review this content after this webinar is over. Let's talk a little bit more about types of content. The most valuable type of content on Facebook is the standard Facebook post. What you're looking at doing with a regular post on your Facebook business page is known as brand storytelling or brand journalism. Stories, your news, market news, customer successes, listings. How can you make a listing into a story? Case studies, announcements, webinars, any helpful information. That's what you want to really focus on. Okay. Video images, text, and animated GIFs are the types of content. And then make a whole story, maybe it's a longer one, and then break it up into parts of a story so you can put it on different platforms, or use as additional content to tease your longer form stories. always in every post, link back to your website. This story should be on your website, and then have a link from Facebook when you post the story. It can be the whole story, it can be a part of the story, and link it back to your website. You want to get folks over to your website so that they can interact, your viewers can interact with the rest of the content on your website, so they can see your listings, they can see other information that is helpful to them in buying a home or selling a home. Link them back to your website because you want them interacting with you, not just on Facebook. Okay. So I've got some examples here. We have a recent story that I published about a spectacular Greek revival home. It did pretty well. Did not boost that post. I'll talk about boosting in a minute. Here's a typical Facebook ad. You know, you have the primary text at the top. You have headline and description down there at the bottom, and a call to action button. It's just like a display ad on, on a website. They just don't get the click-throughs that stories do. Here's an example of a reel we did. I don't know if you can hear the audio for this, but I'm going to go ahead and play it.
Are you ready for a market correction? If you think this is the future of real estate, follow us at Go Home TV and get the real story.
No, a friend of mine who's a famous author, his name's James Patterson. He started out as an executive at J. Walter Thompson, one of the largest advertising agencies in the world. And he was the CEO there, but he started out as a copywriter. And he explained to me that the way advertising works, the way stories work, for that matter, is start off with something shocking and then tell them something smart. So think about that when you're producing your content. Start out with something shocking and then tell them something smart. And so that's the whole purpose of this Facebook reel, to kind of get everybody to see the car crash, and they immediately start looking to see what's going on with the rest of your message. Okay, more types of content. Facebook stories. The length and timing and lifespan of a Facebook story is limited. Photos play for 5 seconds each, and videos are up for 20 seconds. Each individual story disappears after exactly 24 hours. I don't use these a lot. I haven't found a lot of interaction, engagement from them, but it's certainly something that if you want to try to use them, they're available to you. Facebook Marketplace. I'd encourage you to use it, but there's a couple of things you need to be aware of. There are a lot of scams on Facebook Marketplace. And so there's a lot of folks that don't trust it. There may be 1 billion people using this every year, but there's just a lot of scams. There's rental scams, there's mortgage scams, there's all kinds of scams on here. The best way to avoid being seen as a scam is to link your listing, if that's what you're putting on a real estate marketplace, link it to your local MLS or to My State MLS, so that it's a real listing on a real multiple listing service. And so it automatically, at least with My State MLS, we check all of these listings to make sure they're real and that they're not a scam. So I would encourage everyone to go ahead and use Marketplace, but watch out. You don't want to be perceived to be a scam. Facebook Live video streaming. The strategy with that is you can be random or you can be regularly scheduled. The random ones, well, if they happen to see you in the feed, great. If you have a regular schedule, like this agent has in the picture up in the upper right, for a real estate show, if you have it on a regular basis, schedule on a regular time, then you might be able to get an audience. I haven't had a lot of luck with Facebook Live in multiple industries, so we don't use it a lot, especially since there's a lot of tech challenges. Unfortunately, Facebook has a lot of bugs. It has it in their posting. It has it in their video streaming. It has a lot of bugs in their boosting and advertising products. But it's still the biggest game in town right now. And so I would encourage you to use it, but be prepared to get a little frustrated when you have to deal with the bugs in Facebook. Okay, so let's talk about boosting a standard post. When you post on Facebook on your news feed, only about 5 to 6% of your followers see it, and almost no one outside of your friends see it. Even most of your friends don't see it. You can change that by boosting your posts. This is Facebook's business model. It's how they make money. Of course, Facebook calls a boosted post an ad, but it looks much different than a Facebook ad. It looks like a post and will go in news feeds. Facebook ads typically look like a display ad on a website. They have their place, but I don't encourage them. Boosting a story post is much better. Now, there's a lot of steps in this. I'm going to go through a few of them, and you can come back and take a look at this at a later time. But recently, we're in the process of testing the latest hot sheet real estate listings video. We're going to do this a lot more because it's working really, really well. This is just a plain post, and then I went ahead and boosted it, and this is what that boosted post looks like. So follow this process in order. You need to follow this order because if you don't, some of the Facebook, I'll call them features, other people would call them bugs, will trip you up. So follow this order. Post the content on your business Facebook page. See how it performs organically. If that thing's taken off, it looks great. You're getting a lot of engagement, you're getting a lot of views, you're getting a bunch of shares, getting a lot of likes, then you'll want to go back to that post and click boost from the post. Facebook offers, go to the ad system in the back end and do all of that. I found that has a lot of bugs. It's much better to go right to the post that you put on your page and then click boost from that post. Now, that doesn't mean all the bugs are over, but click boost. At the top, you'll see the goal. I would skip it for now. Okay, don't click on that yet. Set the button that it gives you to learn more with the button designation. Set it to website because you want to drive traffic to your website. And there you can add a link to the website, landing page or your home page, but I would encourage you to use landing pages for the content. Like if it's a listing, send them to the listing web landing page for that particular listing that you have. Then you set the audience. You can geo-target location where your customers are. Okay, don't get too specific or the boost won't show. All right. Don't start putting in, I want, seniors and I want, all kinds of people that you think you might want to sell to. Once you get that specific, there's two problems. Facebook may not allow you to do it because it's a fair housing violation. And if you get way too specific and had a lot of keywords in that setting up of the audience, it won't show the ad to anybody or won't show the post to anyone. So I'd keep it as broad as possible at first, and then you can experiment with try to get it a much smaller area. So for example, if you're a real estate agent in Palm Beach County, Florida, you can geo-target Palm Beach County. You can geo-target by map, which would include, picking perhaps West Palm Beach and then 50 miles in either direction. Don't forget that a lot of people that are buying real estate are moving. So you want to also pick up those geo-targets. A lot of people are moving from New York to Florida. You might want to have your post show up in New York as well, so that they can see this post in their feed or on their Facebook page. Okay, you want to go where your customers are. Again, don't get too specific, or the boost won't show. Then you set the duration and the total budget. I would test $20 for 4 days the first time and see how it works. Okay, you can do $5 a day. You can even do $2 a day. I think the limit is $1. I've never done it that low, so I don't know. But try $20 for 4 days. It's $5 a day, and see what happens for 4 days. Then you can go back and adjust what you're going to do. Set placements. Facebook and Instagram, not Messenger, not WhatsApp, any of that stuff, just Facebook and Instagram. Okay. Now go back to the goal at the top and click change. And hopefully, you'll be able to set on get more website visitors. One of the problems with Facebook is that option doesn't show up once in a while. And so the best next thing to show is either if it's a video, is get video views, or let it pick, and it will randomly pick your goal. So do it in that order, because you know your goal will be messed up. The selection items, it will be messed up if you don't follow this order. One other thing you need to be concerned about, it's a special category for housing. Once you do that, it will automatically set the age from 18 to over 65. You're not allowed to change those kinds of things. If you don't set housing on a real estate post, they will not let you boost it. They will reject the ad. So when you see this special category, you want to make sure you select housing, because that is related to real estate, and it will actually make changes to your boosting criteria that you're setting up. So once you've done that, you enter your credit card on the first time you boost a post, and you click boost and wait for approval. Approval can take anywhere from 15 minutes to 2 days. I hate to tell you, but that's what happens. You know, and there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. I posted this latest hot sheet real estate listings post. I boosted it on Saturday. It was approved in 15 minutes. Most of the time, it takes up to 12 hours or more. So I was happy that it did it in 15 minutes. So here's the results on this particular post on the latest hot sheet real estate listings. In the first 3 days, I spent $13.97. I got 987 through plays. That's at least 15 seconds. The reach was over 10,000 people, and the cost per through play was 1 penny. Pretty good value. Okay. So we reached over 10,000 folks. We've gotten 987 people. We had over 4,000 people engage with it, and did 3-second video plays in the first 3 days. So this is how video works. This is how boosting a standard post works. You don't have to spend a lot of money. It will absolutely work for you if you follow this formula. Okay, so let's talk about Facebook groups. Groups are a place to communicate about shared interests. And there's a ton of real estate related Facebook groups. I've just included a few of them here. Real Estate Mastermind and Lab Code Agents, they have 100,000 members or more. The YouTube for real estate agents is a good one. Multifamily real estate, real estate deals, real estate memes, rated R. And then there's the local ones, Realtors of Florida, or wherever your state is, or your local town is, Miami Real Estate, Florida Mobile Home for Sale, There's a lot of groups on Facebook. You have to search for them and see which ones you want to become a member to. The issue I have with most of these Facebook groups is the folks that run them, that moderate the groups, have set up rules that don't necessarily help you. I mean, they're great for learning. They're great for growing your business. They're great for networking. They can even help you find customers. But they have a lot of restrictions. They won't let you post from your business page, your Facebook business page. You can't just link directly a post from your Facebook business page to these Facebook groups. So you have to go into the Facebook group and try and put in your content. A lot of them won't allow you to put in listings. So that's, those are some of the limitations of the groups. They're still valuable, but because of that, we just launched in the last week our own real estate social growth group on Facebook, and it allows members to share cross-platform listings and from their Facebook business page. So I encourage you, please join our real estate social growth group. We don't have any members yet. We don't have a whole lot of content yet, but join us and start posting, and we'll grow this group together. I believe that social media should not have limitations on it. Facebook shouldn't try and continue within Facebook, and all of these other platforms shouldn't try and continue within their platforms. I think we should spread it around, and just like a marketplace anywhere, think of it like a mall or wherever. It should be spread around equally and open so you can post anything anywhere. And that's what real estate social growth is all about. We want you to grow your social and your network and your territory by having an open real estate Facebook group platform. And so that's why we have that. We also have MLS affiliate. That's a program that shares revenue with with our members by rewarding them with direct payments for referring new members. That's another group that we just launched because we just launched that product. So those are a couple of groups that you can join, but I would encourage you to join the other groups you can find, like Real Estate Mastermind and YouTube for real estate agents, life code agents, etc. Okay, well, thank you very much for your attention today. We didn't lose power. I'm really happy about that. Do you have any questions? I'm going to go open the questions and see what we have. How can we see the replay? You'll be able to see the replay in the next few days. We've got to bring this into our editing software and make sure it's clean and looks great for you. And then we'll put it on our website, MyStateMLS.com. Another question, what do you mean make stories local? So if there's a national story about mortgage rates or about the real estate market in general, well, all markets are local. So take that national story and maybe lead with that, and then drill down into what's going on in your local market. What are people doing with real estate sales in your market? Are they selling? Is there any inventory? How are buyers doing, and who is buying? Take that national story and their national headline, and then drill down into the local information. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like we have exhausted most of the questions. So thank you again for. There's another question here. Will boosting a post show on Marketplace as a feed or as an ad? Boosting a post will show as an ad. It will say sponsored post. It will not show on Marketplace. Let's see, a couple more questions. Is the neighborhood report a good one to post? Yes. Anything that's going on with your local real estate market, if I understand your question, is a great thing to post. Let people know you want to become known as the authority on your market. That will differentiate you from so many others that are in the real estate market that you're competing against. The more you become an authority on your market and what's going on in real estate in your market, the more helpful you'll be, and the better known you'll become, and the more engagement you'll get on social media and on your website. So again, thank you for joining us to this webinar on how to accelerate your real estate business with Facebook. And signing off. Thank you.